Hello everybody. So I've got a little bit of kind of a haul video, I guess. So I'm just gonna grab well, first of all, in this box of toys that I bought, and you already seen the heading, you know it's G.I. Joe stuff. But in this bag of stuff, I bought this thing, this little shark from 1986. I don't know what it is, maybe a Jaws thing, but it's really cool, so I'm going to keep this thing in my collection. I just think it's a little... My cat looks really funny with it on. Oh, hold on. Speaking of cat, he doesn't like to put it on. He actually likes the string more. But I'm not going to make him wear it. Come on, put it on. Be a little shark face. Little shark face. Anyway. So I got a massive amount of G.I. Joe stuff, and I'm just going to jump in because there's a lot of stuff. I'm not going to open this up and show you everything. Anyway, I'll explain as I go. So, let's jump in with this. So first up is the G.I. Joe Conquest. It is not complete. I'm going to get this camera adjusted back. Come on, dude. Alright, you got to go. Not back, cat. Alright, so first up, I've got the G.I. Joe Conquest. Most of its parts are in here. It's missing some missiles, but the big thing it's missing is this engine cover and the black fins that go across it. I've got the nose cone and the landing gear. So, well, I got that up here. How I found this was I was on vacation. I was heading home to see some family, and I went through a very big storm and decided to pull off the road, and I seen a Goodwill. So I was like, you know what? I'll just go wait out the storm in a Goodwill and kind of walk around and see what they have. So I first walked in, I seen this giant bin full of G.I. Joe stuff. I don't know anything about G.I. Joes. I don't collect G.I. Joes. I would if I could afford it, but there's just so much, I don't know where to start. So, know nothing about G.I. Joes. I see this bin, I assume it's parts. It looks like parts. Nothing looks complete. So, I ended up buying the whole thing for 35 bucks, and you're going to get to see all of it. I don't know if I'm going to get to keep any of this stuff. I may end up using it for trade bait to get some Star Wars stuff. We'll see. It depends on how much the guy's willing to give me for all the Star Wars, all the G.I. Joe stuff. I may end up keeping it. Anyway, so let me slide this over here. And let's start with some figures here. So, I'm not going to take all these out. It's going to take too much time, so I'll just kind of give you the rundown of kind of the bags here. So, like I said, I don't know anything about G.I. Joes, which made it so much more fun. Because I ended up spending hours while I was at my family's house after everyone went to sleep. I pulled out all these toys and just started looking them up online, trying to figure out who was who, what weapons went with what. That was a big challenge because a lot of them had weapons. A couple of them are complete, most of them aren't. But I ended up going through and figuring out, and I had such a good time doing it. There's nothing like having a box of toys you know nothing about and getting to go through and figure out what is what, and I literally just had a blast. One of the most fun experiences I've had in toy collecting in a very long time. And it's not very often where you walk into a Goodwill and you spend 35 bucks and you end up with the amount of stuff that I'm going to show you. So we got the Conquest over there. This is a bag of G.I. Joes. Any of you guys who know G.I. Joes probably know most of these. But you can see there's a Sergeant Slaughter here and another Sergeant Slaughter. This is actually the Sergeant Slaughter's Marauders edition, which is usually these guys in this blue, green, and tan. So there's Spirit, which is the Indian guy, and you got Barbecue down here, and another Barbecue over there, and there should be another Marauder, this blonde guy right there. What was his name? Man, I don't remember what his name was. Let me look. Lowlight. That's who it was. Lowlight. And there is a Sergeant Slaughter that goes to a vehicle called the Warthog. Then there is this blue guy here. He was, oh gosh, I cannot remember his name. Is not Hit and Run. What the heck was... He's just an air trooper. G.I. Joe Skydive. I don't know why I included the G.I. Joe in that. But he's got his backpack and rifle. He did not have his parachute in there. Like I said, some of these guys have their weapons, some of them don't. I don't think there's anybody else in that bag worth noting. But anyway, so there's one bag of Joes. And this one, a lot of these figures are complete in there, except for, and I can't remember his name, the Cobra, God, I can't remember his name, but he's got his little throne here, and then there's some other guys, and a lot of other parts. The only guy I didn't know was this blue guy. I have no idea who that is. I think he's from a different line, I'm just not sure which one. So actually, I'm going to pull him out till I figure out who he is. He is, if anyone knows who this is, let me know. He's missing an arm. I don't see any markings on him that would indicate where he came from, so... yeah, so there's another bag of parts. There's a version 2 Storm Shadow in here. He's complete, they just need new O-rings. Most of those guys in there just need new O-rings. And there was also this bag, which most of these, this guy and this little purple alien, which maybe you can see him better this way. The purple alien, and there was this guy and this guy who was Fisher-Price Adventure People. And most of these guys are Fisher-Price Adventure People. I think this goes to Stinkor from Masters of the Universe. There was a GoBots in here whose name was Scratch. And a Muscle Man. And like I said, a little alien from the Fisher-Price Space set. And there's this this guy who was from the Fisher-Price Deep Sea Diving set. And then there's just some other random figures. One of the odd ones I've found was this guy. He looks like a G.I. Joe, but his body is all metal. He's missing his head, so it's not worth anything, but I thought it was odd that the body's metal. And there's this GoBot that is missing an arm and a head. So, that bag's not really extremely valuable, but there may be a piece or two in there someone might want down the road. Next up, we'll stay with figures before I get to the vehicles. How about that? So you can see Law and Order there. I don't know all the troopers, but there's an Alley Viper, an Ice Viper, a Python Patrol Viper, Copperhead, Crimson Guard, another Viper. There's one of the Vipers is actually probably the most valuable in this set. He was about a $30 figure. Most of the rest of these guys aren't really worth a ton. But there's a Hit and Run, a Night Creeper. The Night Creeper is this guy. He's actually one of the few that I actually had as a kid. And I bought him mainly because for some reason I had a thing at crossbows at the time. So Law and Order's got his dog. And there's the original Lady J. She was only missing her purse. And Hardball is right here. I like him because he's got this giant Gatling gun thing. I got 2 Blizzards in there. I think both of them are broken. There's Scoop, where was Scoop? I can't remember which one Scoop was. Charbroil, which again, I don't see. Downtown, and oh, there's another Marauder, Footloose. Anyway, So there is a lot of figures in here. Like I said, I don't know everyone's name off the top of my head, but yeah, a lot of figures. I really like Law and Order. I always liked him and his dog, and Lady J. I knew her. Yeah. Yeah, so that's all the figures, I believe. Okay, so next up, I also got this giant bag of parts. There's still probably a couple of things in there that all of this stuff, I have no idea where it goes. Maybe I'll figure out, but who knows. Just an extra little bag of parts. So I'm going to take all that stuff and put it to the side here. And leave that out. Next up, let's go with this. I might just pull this guy out of the bag. This is one of the Cobra vehicles, and this is, I want to say it was the Thunder Machine, and this guy's name was Thrasher. It's basically a complete vehicle. The antenna has seen some better days, and so has these pipes up here, but they're still on there. They're still complete. The only thing that's missing is one of these side windows like it has over here, and this has seen some better days, but mostly complete. 98% complete, you know, missing that one window. But I think that's really cool. Next up, what to grab? We'll grab this. This thing's pretty bad shape. This is the water moccasin. I've got the one of the gun that clips on here. It is very dirty, and this is broken. This little piece here, but the fan does still move. It just is in serious need of a bath. It can definitely be fixed, but yeah. There's the moccasin. So next up, this was a little playset. I think it was called the laser something. Yeah, LAW or something like that. Yeah, it's just a little playset. It's supposed to sit down, and you got a Joe that sits here. Yeah, just another little playset. Next up, I got this. This was came with one of the guys. It's basically missing just one of these guns, and it's, I cannot remember the name, but it's like the Overlord's Dictator or something. Yeah, it really, the vehicle made no sense, but he's got the missiles on the sides and everything, so relatively complete. Next up, I got, I want to say this was called the Cobra Rage, if I remember right. I got all of the cover pieces and panels, and it's supposed to have 4 of these little discs, but for the life of me, I cannot figure out why it has these little discs in it. I thought maybe they shot out from somewhere, but the only thing I can think of is they're supposed to go on the ends of these wheels. But I didn't look it up, so I really don't know what those discs are supposed to go to. So if you know, let me know. I'm just kind of curious to find out. But it's got this whole tank assembly with this cockpit up here that clips on the back of it and becomes basically a tank. And you got your cover panels that go across here. Probably one of my favorite out of all of them. It's a really cool vehicle. Next up, I got the Cobra Pogo, which is just kind of like a little spaceship with missiles and stuff, and it's got these arms that clip all around it. I think it was missing just one of these gray missiles you see here. Next up, let's go with some of these. So it also had a bunch of these different play sets. I think this one is the Missile Defense Unit and the Forward Observation Unit, I think. Or the Mortar Defense Unit, that's what that one was. But yeah, anyway, so that's what, there's just some little play sets. They're all complete. Same as this. This was actually the Missile Defense Unit. The other was the Forward Observer Unit. And this was the ammunition dump, or ammo dump unit, and the missile, missile defense unit. That's what that one was called. And it also came with this, which, this is it's basically a bunker that kind of sits around in a shape like this. You can kind of see how the parts kind of clip together. But it's a Cobra bunker, and also I've got the Cobra rifle range kit in there too. So there's 2 different play sets in each of those bags. And then this one actually had instructions for Action Force, which I guess was European G.I. Joe, but this is just a missile defense system playset. And then I also have Checkpoint Alpha, which was complete except for one of these struts that holds the tower up. Wasn't there. It still stands up, it's just missing one of the struts. Next up, let's go with this. Starting to run out of room here. So this is the Havoc, or no, I'm sorry, the Warthog. So this is the one that one of the Sergeant Slaughters I showed you earlier goes to, and I've got mostly all of the parts for it in here. I think it was complete. I think I had everything else that went to it. Running out of room. Next up, I got a complete G.I. Joe Havoc, the Electro Optic tracker, and it's got this little hovercraft thing that launches out of the back of it with these little fans on the bottoms, and all of the missiles. The only thing is I think this guy's name was Cutter, but I think he's missing his legs, unless it was in the bag and I just didn't see it. Yeah, like I said, none of this stuff was complete. I had to spend hours and hours searching through G.I. Joe catalogs to find out which parts went with what. So, and eBay auctions really helped a lot. Next up, let's go with this. So, then I got this Hummer, which is called the Hammer. And I've got all of the weapons and the 50 cal box and all the different missiles. Was I missing one of the missile pods? I think I was missing a missile pod. Yeah. So I was missing one of the missile pods there, but when I first seen this was one of the things I thought was really cool. If I end up keeping this is probably going to be the reason why this and the Warthog and the Rage and the Havoc. I like all of those vehicles. I think they're really cool. And the next one is a big one. So I'm going to try to get it set up. So give me 1 second here. Okay, so here we got the Thunderclap. So it's these 3 vehicles, and I'm not going to put it together, but you have these canopies that basically go on that one, and then there's another canopy that goes on that one. And all the missiles, and what it is it's these 3 separate vehicles. So you have this middle section to these landing things, these tripod legs come down on, and it's got this giant gun with these orange missiles, and I've got it all. Like I said, it's all in there, complete. And these vehicles basically detach, so they have all their own separate weapons. And they all detach, but basically it's 3 different vehicles that kind of form to carry this giant gun around. And that was probably one of the coolest ones. I really like that vehicle a lot. Excuse me, I should have brought some water in here. I did, in that bag, there was this Cobra Helicopter and a noise machine, and a couple instruction manuals, and there was also a couple G.I. Joe or Star Wars things. So there was this guy, and I think that's a bag for one of the Ewoks, and one of the weapons for one of the guys. I can't remember which. And also this Mauser C96 or something like that. It's essentially what they based Han Solo's gun on. And then there was a couple little odd parts in there that I don't really know what they go to. So I know that's Fisher Price, and that's like Mega Force or something like that. Anyway. So yeah. For 30 bucks, I looked up everything and just conservatively on eBay, between all the figures, and I based it on the condition. So I tried to find auctions where, like, if something was missing a missile, I found something. Essentially, I found that if I was to sell everything in the condition it's all in, it was about $530 worth of stuff. So, yeah. Very happy to have it, and thank you guys for watching. And I'll see you with the next haul. I've got another action figure haul coming up with my normal stuff. I found some Star Wars, Jurassic Park, and some other odds and ends stuff. I bought probably my last thing at Toys R Us. I've got a video. I still want to do my Ninja Turtle comics collection video. And I'm going to do a video on some DTOF lighting whenever I get those in. And I'm also going to make a display case that runs up here. I'm going to take some of this stuff down and move it around. But I'm going to basically make 2 cases that are tiered and put all of my loose Ninja Turtles up here. And I'm going to show you how to do that. It's going to be hopefully a relatively cheap way to do a display case. Yeah, I think that's it. So I'll be working on those videos. Hopefully I'll get those out to you soon. And then once we reach 500 subs or around there, hopefully I will be ready to do a collection video. So thank you very much for watching. Appreciate it. Bye.